Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I want to go through this mock draft by Peter King on profootballtalk.nbcsports.com and sort of go through this entire mock draft and talk a little bit about each pick, but I will be focusing on the Packers picks considering I am a Packers fan and most of you guys who follow me are also Packers fans, so obviously that's where we will be having our focus. But if you're not a Packers fan, feel free to stay and watch and see, which position he gives to or which player he places on your team. So first off here, we have the Jaguars deciding to go with Trayvon Walker, defensive lineman for Georgia. And this has been a switch as of late. With for a long time, Aiden Hutchinson has been the number one pick, or many people have mocked him as the number one pick. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But as of late, more people seem to believe that the Jaguars could switch it up and go with Trayvon Walker with the number one overall pick. I think the odds today flip to Trayvon Walker as well. So who knows? Who knows what the Jaguars are going to do? We have no idea, or I have no idea what they'll actually end up doing, but they go with Trayvon Walker. Then we got the number two pick. The Lions go with Aiden Hutchinson, which makes sense with him not being selected number one overall. So the Aiden Hutchinson to the Lions. We got the Texans selecting Ikem Ekwonu. I think I saw someone earlier today, I'm not sure who it was, that said they think he could go number one overall to the Jaguars, which maybe that could happen. Who knows? The draft is always interesting. Then we got the Jets here going Sauce Gardner, number 4 overall, first cornerback off the board. We got the Giants going Charles Cross, offensive tackle, number 5. The Panthers going Evan Neal, offensive tackle from Alabama. And he says, I don't know what Carolina will do. The Panthers could go Kenny Pickett here because unless they trade their first-round pick next year to move into position to acquire another high pick, they won't pick again until day 3 of the draft. They don't have a second or third rounder currently. I'm hoping the Panthers pick a quarterback just because I feel like if a quarterback goes in the top 10, it makes things a little bit more exciting. But that's where the excitement about this draft is. It really seems like people are sort of confused on or don't really know exactly what is going to happen. I definitely don't. So we'll see if the Packers decide to go with a quarterback or if after the draft they're like, you know what, we want Baker Mayfield. Maybe that'll happen. We got 7 here. The Giants go Kyle Hamilton, safety Notre Dame. And then we got the first wide receiver off the board with the Falcons taking Drake London from USC. And then we have number 9 here. The Texans go Garrett Wilson. So he has a trade, he says, projected trade. Texans trade the 13th pick overall and an early third-round pick, 68 overall, to the Seahawks for the 9th selection. So the Texans move up here, and they go with a wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, Ohio State. And then you can see the Jets at 10 take Jamison Williams. So what's that, 3 straight wide receivers off the board, which doesn't bode well for the Packers. I'm hoping the Packers can land one of these top 5 wide receivers because clearly we have a need at wide receiver. And we know Brian Gutekunst does have a history, or the Packers have a history of drafting wide receivers well in the second round, like Devontae Adams. But I would like them to go wide receiver in the first round if one of those guys falls to them. But with this, if this scenario happens, it's less likely the Packers will get one of those wide receivers at number 22 overall. Because to add a guy like a Jamison Williams to the Packers would be nice, but we will probably have to trade up, which we can do with all the picks we have in the first 2 rounds. So it's possible, but who knows if the Packers will actually do it. 11 here, we have another wide receiver, 4 wide receivers off the board that quickly. Chris Olave, wide receiver, Ohio State, going to the Washington Commanders. So there we go. Wide receiver run. Then we got the Vikings going Derek Stingley, second cornerback off the board there from LSU. Then we have this trade here with the Seahawks moving back, going Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't know if he'll fall to 13. I feel like someone will snatch him up before then, but who knows? We got the Ravens going Trevor Penning, offensive tackle, Northern Iowa. Eagles going Jordan Davis, defensive tackle, Georgia. I would love if he fell to the Packers, but that probably won't happen. Then we got another wide receiver off the board. Treylon Burks, wide receiver, Arkansas, going to New Orleans. And if I'm hoping at least Treylon Burks will be available at 22 because I would really love him there. I'd rather have him than Drake London, even though I think they're both great wide receivers. But I'm hoping Burks will fall to the Packers potentially if those other guys are gone. But if this happens, the Packers won't have as many options there picking at 22 overall. We got the Chargers going Trent McDuffie. And then here we go, the Packers. He has the Packers trading up. He says Eagles trade the 18th pick to the Packers for the 22nd pick and a late third-round pick, 92nd overall. He has the Packers going Jahan Dotson, wide receiver for Penn State. So I don't really love this move. I think that if the Packers really wanted Jahan Dotson, I feel like they could wait and pick him at 22. I definitely don't think they need to move up to grab Jahan Dotson. I honestly don't think the Packers need to draft him. He says here, surprising for the 6th receiver in the round. If this is how it goes, Dotson is a better version of Randall Cobb with maybe the best hands in the draft. And with that being the case, I think Amari Rodgers is also, a slot guy like Randall Cobb. So to add another guy like that to the Packers roster, I don't think makes the most sense. I would rather them here with the options take like Christian Watson, then Jahan Dotson. It's not my favorite pick, and I don't think they would need to move up to pick him, but who knows? Who knows what could happen? He also says, all along, I tried everything I could to get Chris Olave to the Packers, barring a huge trade-up that might cost Brian Gutekunst next year's first-round pick. It's hard to see one of the top 4 receivers landing in Green Bay. Dotson's a good alternative. He's just not Olave. I would much rather the Packers wait and go with like a George Pickens or Christian Watson, whether that's the end of the first round, whether that's even waiting to the second round. I don't love this pick here for the Packers. Then we got 19. We got the Saints going Devontae Wyatt. I would rather the Packers moved up and picked him or waited around and picked him than Jahan Dotson. Then we got the Steelers going Kenny Pickett. Steelers getting a QB there. And then we got, 21 Patriots going Bernard Raymond, Central Michigan. Eagles going Devin Lloyd, Utah. And that's the trade from the Packers. We got the Cardinals going Jermaine Johnson, edge from Florida State. See, I would rather the Packers pick him as well than Jahan Dotson. There are a lot of other players I would have rather had over Dotson. I would have rather the Packers wait for a wide receiver. But let me know do you guys like that? 18 Jahan Dotson? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys think there. We got the Cowboys going Tyler Linderbaum, center, Iowa. Bills go Zion Johnson. Titans go Tyler Smith, offensive tackle from Tulsa. The Buccaneers go David Ojabo, edge from Michigan. And then we have the Packers up again, and this time he has them going with Arnold Ebiketie, edge from Penn State. He says this has shades of a late first-round Penn State riser at edge from last year, Odafe Owe. Ebiketie, a native of Cameroon, moved to the Washington area when his dad got a job at the Cameroon embassy. Ebiketie fell in love with football, and now with the Pack having lost Adarius Smith to the casualties of the cap, a promising edge player would fit well. And I definitely think edge in the first round makes sense for the Packers, as he, stated with Zadarius Smith leaving. To have that third guy behind Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary, I think is definitely important. So this move could make sense. He then says, I do make this provision. The Packers may need this pick or one of the two in the second round to move up significantly to take a receiver to replace Devontae Adams. This pick could be one of the most interesting in the round because of all the directions GM Brian Gutekunst could go. He could move way up to target at Chris Olave around 10th, or he could, as I predict, move up a lesser number of spots to take a lesser receiver. Green Bay's fascinating team in round 1. And I just watched Brian Gutekunst's press conference a couple hours ago, and he did state that the Packers have been in communication, sort of discussing the potential of moving up or moving down in the draft, sort of preparing for what could happen. And, if they have a wide receiver there that they think they need to jump a few, teams to draft, I think it's definitely the case. But I really wouldn't be shocked if the Packers wait for wide receiver till round 2, with Brian Gutekunst today, sort of noting how the Packers have been really good when it comes to, waiting till the second round to draft a wide receiver. So who knows what will happen, but I do think edge makes sense. But then he has here the Chiefs going Christian Watson, which with Christian, obviously if they pick Jahan Dotson, I don't know if drafting Christian Watson also in the first round makes sense. I don't know about drafting 2 wide receivers in the first round for the Packers, but I would have rather the Packers stayed at 22 in this mock, drafted like Jermaine Johnson or Devontae Wyatt, and then drafted Christian Watson at 28. That would have been honestly my preferred move here in this draft, but who knows? I do love Christian Watson, and I honestly hope he ends up on the Packers somehow. Then we got the Chiefs going Lewis Seen, safety, Georgia. The Bengals going Trey McBride, tight end, Colorado State. And then the Falcons trading up here with the Lions, it looks like. Lions trade the 32nd to the Falcons for a second-round pick this year and a second-round pick in 2023, picking Matt Corral from Ole Miss. So there is the mock draft by Peter King. Let me know your thoughts on how this mock draft went for the Packers, or just this mock draft overall. Honestly, not my favorite mock draft for the Packers. I'm hoping a guy like Treylon Burks will be around at 22 if the Packers decide to, draft a wide receiver there. Who knows if that'll actually happen? But if you guys haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe down below to the channel. That's it for this one, and I will see you guys next time.